The original rivalry headlined round 8 of the Isuzu UTE A-League, with Adelaide United heading to Amy Park to face off against Melbourne Victory. It was a must-win match for the home side, who had seen success in only one of their first 7 matches, whilst the Reds were still hunting their first victory on the road this season. Arthur Dillies made 3 changes to his lineup from last week's draw against Macarthur. Meanwhile, Ayrton Andrioli stuck with his same 11 despite suffering back-to-back defeats.
Mata up the line for Santos again. Valadon, Geordie Valadon now. Across the face of goal, Burgos! 24th minute. The drought has broken. Burgos and Melbourne Victory. Duncan Long. Well, that's well played. Here goes Mata with Santos. The cutback, Juan Mata off the crossbar, and the follow-up cleared. Velupile wide.
And the cutback is a really good one. The left foot might have served him a bit better, actually. I reckon a lot of people who've watched his career, as that ball comes in, thinks this is 2-0 here.
Santos, Burgos, able to turn, pokes it out towards Davidson. All roads lead to Juan Mata at the moment. His cross, Burgos, and that's 2. 60 seconds into the second half. And when droughts break, it tends to come down in tons.
The Victory counter-attack has been really fluent.
Piraeus gets the roll past Davidson. Piraeus again past Miranda. The cross is a good one. The header, great save to deny Anselmo. Jack Duncan looking for clean sheet number 4. Oh, that's given away cheaply by Kito. Mata. Oh, that was going in. We are being treated to a bit of a masterclass this evening from Juan Mata.
A masterclass, as it were.
Now perhaps, is there something on? Alagic for Goodwin. Falami's in the middle. Ben Falami controls. He's been forced wide. The cutback, Piraeus. And Adelaide have the goal with 5 minutes left to play. And this might just change everything.
Well, it's a Victory-esque counter-attack on tonight's evidence.
Alagic with Barnett. Johnny Yull. Goodwin again. The ball in is a good one. Oh, the header looping off the crossbar. So close. It was Dylan Piraeus again.
Oh, Ayrton, how's your heart rate?
It's all over. Melbourne Victory have just their 2nd win of the season. Melbourne Victory are off the bottom of the ladder. Nikos Burgos is off the mark with a match-winning brace. Dylan Piraeus' goal, nothing more than a consolation. Arthur Dillis' side get the victory that they so desperately needed. And you can see the relief and the hug from Andrew Durante, his assistant coach. A shake of the hand with Ayrton Andrioli checking on Bart Vriens as well. Well, the original rivalry delivers once again a typically passionate and intense match of football. And they have been doing it so tough, Melbourne Victory. They will enjoy this moment of respite. They're back to winning ways for Adelaide. It is now 12 away matches in a row, dating back nearly a full year without a win. But tonight, let's enjoy the winners. Winners are grinners. Melbourne Victory getting up over Adelaide United by 2-1.
Defending premiers Auckland FC travelled to Polytech Stadium to take on the Central Coast Mariners. The hosts were looking to break a 3-game winless streak, whilst a victory would put the visitors on top of the table, at least temporarily. Warren Moon made 2 changes to his side, bringing in Bailey Bremen and Harry Steele, whilst Black Knights boss Steve Corica stuck with the same 11 that won the New Zealand derby last time out.
But Brad Tapp pushes him backwards. That's good defending as well, because that was a chance to freeze. Another wonderful ball. Cosgrove, it's a great save from Redmayne, onto the crossbar and over. Redmayne wasn't sure where that was going. As the in-swinging corner comes into Cosgrove again, and it's Redmayne again. What a wonderful save that is. Almost better than the first. On the follow-up, Lockie Brook couldn't find a way through traffic, and the Mariners scrambled clear.
Well, it was a difficult one to bring down, wasn't it? At full stretch, did very, very well. Just didn't have the pace.
Elliott stayed with him all the way. Now De Vries gets past Pierre Harris. Oh, great ball through for Jesse Randall, and this time Andrew Redmayne is unable to keep it out. And Jesse Randall, who leads the league for shots on target, gets his 2nd of the season. And Auckland, for all their attacking dominance, have got the goal they deserve. It is Auckland 1, the Mariners 0. Speaking of fullbacks, Storm Rue making a run for the Mariners. They'll have to bring this one down. De Vries doesn't go to the ball. He's waiting for the delivery. Brantman's there. Oh! It's put in his own net by Callan Elliott. He is laying on the floor in complete disbelief. In fact, I think it's Logan Rogerson who's put it in the back of the net. Auckland cannot believe it. The ball ends up in the back of the net. Was Storm Rue in an offside position? It is a goal. Now, Brook finds... Oh, what a goal. What a header from Cosgrove. We have spoken about him. That is out of absolutely nothing. Brook goes to the edge of the box. It's a wonderful delivery. And the danger of Sam Cosgrove just pops up once again. He's virtually unmarked on that 6-yard box. Andrew Redmayne stopped him a couple of times. But what a header that is. After a great delivery, Sam Cosgrove gets his 4th of the season, and Auckland lead 2-1. Lockie Brook does well. It's a great bounce as well for Elliott. Back to Brook. It hits the post. The outside of the woodwork from Lockie Brook. Andrew Redmayne was diving down to his left. Now Moragas and DiPizio down the left channel. DiPizio's ball in just in front of Muir. Oh, that's a stunning volley from Alfie McAlmont. The hands go to the head. He cannot believe that Michael Vowd has kept that one out. It's a wonderful save. They've run out of time, the Central Coast Mariners. More effort in the second than the first, but the dominance of Auckland in that first half, and then compounded by Cosgrove's 4th of the season, a bullet header. It was Jesse Randall who gave them the lead in the first half. Callan Elliott with an unfortunate own goal before half-time. Was parity at the break. And then what a goal from Sam Cosgrove after a beautiful ball in from Randall. And it means that Auckland, the premiers, are back at the top of the ladder in the opening game of round 8 of the Isuzu UTE A-League men's competition. It has finished in Gosford. Central Coast Mariners 1, Auckland FC 2.
Western Sydney Wanderers hosted a red-hot Brisbane Roar side at CommBank Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The visitors were on a 5-game undefeated run, whilst the home side were looking to bounce back after losing to a 10-man Perth side in round 7. Alan Stajic made 3 changes to his 11 from last week, whilst Michael Valkanis brought Chris Long and Henry Hoare into his starting lineup.
Brisbane Roar, well, the summit of that mountain could be where they're at if they get the win today. It could be top of the table with 3 points on the road.
Here's Josh Brillante. He's going to shoot early and shoot wide. Dean Bazanis not even moved between the sticks. Brillante sees Thurgate. Thurgate to Kraev. Kraev with his hands full. Borello shooting! And a sharp save from Bazanis. And that is the flashpoint the game needed in this first half. Brandon Borello with a fine strike. He's dragged Ludwig over to the sideline, leaves him. Now Borello. Thurgate ran himself offside. Thurgate look backtrack now. Get behind the defensive line as Borello delivers across, and the initial header coming in front of all and sundry was Aidan Hammond. Hammond trying to get himself some space. Numbers at the back post. Barbarousa's diving header foiled and then cleared away. Bonatic was looking for what would have been his first A-League goal, and it's been blocked.
Well, that man Harrington again on the line.
Carluccio. Now Thurgate. Twisting and turning. Back out to Carluccio. He's got space to try and swing it across, but he wants to go on a bursting run. Hangs it up. Pantasopoulos' header. It was sliding off target, even though Bazanis comfortably made ground. Space for a cross to be whipped in, and Qual went for the spectacular. Pantasopoulos catches the gloves of Bazanis on the way over. A rising strike. Cicluna. And now Klur sees Carluccio. Free as a bird once again. Carluccio. Kraev over the bar.
Well, there's your chance. There is your chance. In the 88th minute, well worked by the Wanderers down the right-hand side, and the Harvey Norman replay, and he just stands it up at the back post. He's got time to attack the ball, and he tries to go high, and he just goes a little too early, I think, and mistimes it.
And that will do. Stalemate at Combank Stadium. And Wanderers are left to ponder one big chance for Božidar Kraev right at the end of regulation time. For the Brisbane Roar, it is a hard-earned point on the road, and their space in the top six continues to look pretty justified because it's a resolute defensive performance today. Western Sydney Wanderers 0, Brisbane Roar 0.
High-flying Sydney FC travelled west to HBF Park to take on Perth Glory. The rejuvenated home side were looking for their fourth straight win, whilst victory for the Sky Blues would take them back to the top of the table. Adam Griffiths brought Nick Pennington and Josh Risdon into his 11, meanwhile Ufuk Talay had to bring in Abel Wallity to replace the injured Joe Lolly.
Tisserand comfortable to deal with. Toure has a bit of space to exploit. Kispe will turn out and settle things. Of course, it's been 3 in a row for Perth. Last weekend, tidy 1-0 result was enough to get it over Western Sydney Wanderers. And for the Sky Blues, they come in off the back of a win against Central Coast Mariners as well. Just a little stumble the week before in the Sydney Derby, but Sydney FC do have great depth in their squad.
Yeah, they certainly do. And it's going to be very interesting tonight to see again Reece Yuli, as you've already mentioned, Grace, in that number 6 role, having to sit in there and allow the 2 Qs in front of him, Quintal, Kispe, to get forward, and you can see Perth already sitting off.
Well, great move from the Sky Blues. Centering ball is into a dangerous area as well, and it's a dream start for Abel Wallity in his first start for Sydney FC inside 5 minutes. They were threatening, they looked dangerous, and exactly where a striker should be. Sydney FC, what a start that is.
Well, they applied the pressure early on, and it's paid off.
It's Pennington, nice pass. Finds Lawrence. Innovation as well by Taggart. Lawrence now. Here's Kaczarski. Has a bit of time, a deflection. Awkward, off the crossbar. Tisserand heads away, still alive with Kaczarski. Perth's strike doesn't quite have the purchase. Lovely left foot. Garucho has searching ball, struck really well in the middle. Second chance. Campuzano coming through, Quintal involved. Really good look for Sydney. Good ball over the top and a little grab of the arm, Kucharski. Finishes nonetheless, but the whistle had already been blown. The outswing off the right boot. Nice shape on the delivery. Tisserand, well, so dominant in the air. The re-entry and it's Caltech. Oh, so close with Perth, and he knows it. Kispe still pushes it wide to Toure. Toure will have a pop himself. Flashes off the side netting. Kucharski! Well, that would have been a way to get his side back on level terms. Inside Sutton, Lawrence looks for the little feint. Bozanovski, who's been excellent. Great defensive header, still Bozanovski. Now no. Centering pass, really good Lawrence. Pennington goes to ground, great chance for the Glory. Centering ball, it falls really kindly to Lawrence, and that has got to be one of the best chances, followed up by another by Pennington. The field stretched, the body's tired, and Patrick Wood, last chance to loom, top save from Matt Sutton. Well, Sydney back on top of the A-League ladder. It has been a defensive masterclass from the Sky Blues, who make it 9 consecutive games undefeated against Perth Glory. It is a very big 3 points for Ufuk Talay in the first of 2 away games. And given the last few times the Sky Blues have visited Perth, it's ended in a draw. This win carries a lot of weight tonight. It also brings to an end the 3-game winning streak Perth found themselves in. And it's a statement piece from the now league leaders in Sydney FC. A lone goal in the 5th minute of the first half sees us full-time at HBF Park. Perth Glory 0, Sydney FC 1.
The Newcastle Jets travelled across the Tasman to Sky Stadium to take on Wellington Phoenix in the final match of the weekend. Both sides were looking to bounce back after coming into the fixture off the back of losses last time out. Giancarlo Italiano made a number of changes to his Wellington squad, handing a starting debut to Jaden Smith and bringing in Corbin Piper up front, whilst Clayton Taylor was brought into Mark Milligan's Jets 11.
Rufer trying to get around Rose. It's there though for Wellington. Flag stays down. Here's an opportunity, trying to go it in. Eze was right there off Piper.
And Najarine and Piper were ready to pounce.
Kelly Hield has to come back again for Lockie Rose, but Alato forcing the save this time for the Jets. Oh, again, defensively. Superb from Smith, putting toward them on attack. Fine Eze now for Armiento. What a save that is. Delianov almost at full stretch, having to come forward too. Kelly Hill, forward it goes. Eze, oh, lovely work from the feet. It's Piper trying to sneak it round. James Delianov putting Armiento on the front foot. Ball into the area. Oh, there's the shot. Excellent work, and the save though. In central midfield, Wellington going to try and expose the Jets there again. Done a pretty good job of it so far in this game, but equally Newcastle, this is where they've been dangerous on the turn. And looking again, Cooper to play in, Lockie Rose, Taylor, way it comes, Battalato. And there is the goal for the Newcastle Jets. And it is Eli Adams who scores it for them, injected in the first half. They've showed so much promise, and finally Newcastle have their reward.
Now Newcastle are looking to break the line by way of diagonal balls.
Oh, ball through for Eze, fine Eze, Delianov comes out, Eze, is this the chance? Oh, goodness me.
Max, Mark Natter and Daniel Wilmering were able to get back and deny the Wellington Phoenix striker.
Rose is there! Lockie Rose! The Jets for two! Lockie Rose scores it! Adams the first! And now a clear-cut goal for Lockie Rose. And the Jets go 2 up. Taylor again, though, trying to lay another one on. This time it's in again! Goodness me, the Newcastle Jets on fire in Wellington.
Well, he's been provider for the first two. Clayton Taylor.
Kaloamiento looking to breathe some life into the Phoenix attack this time. Brooke Smith, ball in. Piper's there, so too Eze. Calls for back post. Conchi goes that way! And there it is for the Phoenix! And who else? Ifeanyi Eze!
It's a wonderful move. Luke Brooke Smith. Ifeanyi Eze finds it.
And that is it for Newcastle here in the nation's capital. An excellent performance from Mark Milligan's team. They create some history in the process too. 2 wins on the road back-to-back in New Zealand. And they win it this afternoon comprehensively in the end by 3-1.
Brilliant this afternoon. A fantastic away effort from the Newcastle Jets. 3 goals worth all 3 points. The architects, Mark Milligan's changes at halftime, but implemented by Clayton Taylor, Lockie Rose and Eli Adams.
So Newcastle come to town here in Wellington and they will leave with all 3 points over the Wellington Phoenix full time at Sky Stadium. It's the Jets 3, the Knicks 1.
And so, with Melbourne City's clash with Macarthur postponed till the 23rd of December due to both teams' participation in AFC competitions, the weekend came to a close with Sydney FC remaining on top of the table and Auckland FC moving into 2nd place, followed by Brisbane Roar and Melbourne City. Meanwhile, Melbourne Victory's win brings them back to the rest of a heavily congested pack, with only 1 point separating 6th and last place. Join us next week for another action-packed edition of Fixtures, headlined by what is set to be a spicy Melbourne derby. We'll see you then.